Good morning, everybody. I am a few minutes early today, which is rare for me. Um, surprise. Um, I had a conversation yesterday or late last night about making excuses and things like that. And um, this morning I had one of those mornings where it was just like everything I did reminded me that I was not doing enough. And it kind of put me into what I would probably accuse people of is excuse mode. Um, and it's kind of one of those things where, I just kind of had a morning where I felt like I, I wasn't providing enough for my kids. I wasn't doing enough around my house. Um, I had some team members ask me some questions, and I I felt like I just wasn't being enough. Does that make sense? Like, wasn't being enough. I wasn't doing enough. I wasn't making things clear enough. I wasn't making things easy enough for everybody else. And um, it got me thinking about that. Then I started in my mind making excuses for it. And I think then it got me thinking about a lot of things, but mostly about the difference between excuses and limits. Um, and I think it's important to realize that everybody has limits. Everybody has everybody has limits, and you need to make limits and set boundaries and be okay with all of that. You feel that way too? So, one of the things that I have decided I'm going to do, last night I talked a lot about spending too much time um, and making excuses for spending too much time on things that aren't moving anybody forward whatsoever. And um, one of the things I want to do to help propel that, my to help me help you, and to not for me not to be part of the problem, is to put limits on my videos here. So I'm going to vow from now on to keep these videos at 15 minutes and get to the point a little bit sooner. That way you're not spending all of your day on your social media listening to me jabber. So that's a whole nother thing altogether. But um, my point in the difference between excuses and limits is to understand and to know your limits, to understand that I think you just have to learn to be very honest with yourself and learn to kind of assess what you're doing and know whether or not you're doing enough. We all kind of know, right? Hey Rachel. Ray. I think we all know when we're doing everything that we can. And I just kind of had this epiphany at the end of last month when I realized that I felt, even though I didn't reach my goals, I felt really good about where I was because I knew I did everything that I could. I knew that I did enough. And I was very forgiving of myself because I know I did everything I know I did all of the right things in order to make my goals happen. And they don't always work out. Um, and I think that's just a matter of being really honest with myself. I know last month I was upset. I was really upset, like 2 days in bed upset, and that I didn't reach my goals. And I'm certain that the reason I felt that way last month is because I know I didn't do enough, and I let that get a hold of me. So being really honest with yourself, knowing when you're doing all that you can, knowing when you're and knowing when you've reached your limits and you have to set boundaries for yourself, and know that if you're comfortable and you feel like you're doing everything that you possibly can to move your business forward, and you're balancing your life and you're not feeling like you're in chaos, then be kind to yourself. Okay? And that's all, I guess. I think sometimes we make excuses for things not going our way, or going the right way, or going the way we wanted it to. But sometimes it's just a matter of limits and boundaries, I think. and being able to stand up and say, I need boundaries here. So it's Friday. Good morning, Crystal. It's Friday, and it's, kind of officially the first weekend of the month. It is Labor Day weekend. Holiday weekends can be great or terrible for sales. It just depends on your situation and what you're doing for your business. I'm personally spending, I just got some coffee, and I am getting ready to go, I'm ready to go to a meeting with one of my pretty phenomenal team members that's kind of on a recruiting conversation spree. And she has asked me to join her to meet with some potential new recruits this morning to I guess I'm going to go as her wingman, I guess. Be there and say hello and talk to people. I like to do that when I can. Kirsty's spending all day catching up and following up. You won't regret that. I think that's another thing that we put in our heads, and I got a lot of feedback from people on this where they said over and over again, oh, I don't want to follow up with people because I'm afraid that they're going to think I'm bothering them. Well, I'm pretty sure if you're bothering somebody, you're going to know it, but you're not going to know it unless you reach out. And far and above, I had more people tell me when I'm following up regularly, I have more people tell me that they are happy I followed up. Thanks for thinking of them. Thanks for including them in my message. Even if their answer is no or not right now, if they're like, no, I don't need anything right now, or they're not placing an order, they're thanking me for thinking of them. That's what every other brand in this world does. Every other brand in this world reminds people every single day. Billboards and commercials and advertisements and flyers and signs and radio ads and Facebook ads and everything else. They remind you all the time. All the time. They remind you that they exist. So when you need something, it's top of mind. That's awesome, Kirsty. I'm so excited. So excited. That if I could convince every single direct seller to actually do their follow-ups, you would all send me flowers and tell me thank you, because you would all be selling huge amounts of makeup, I promise. And you can send me flowers if you want. I really like them. I like chocolate better though. So anyway, I'm going to keep this one really short today so I can get to my meeting on time and kind of like take some time to feel clear about the message that I'm going to share with these people. I also like fruit baskets, or, like when people make a arrangement out of fruit. I really like that. I find that really, really, really fun. Actually, I've only gotten one of those one time, and that was from Kat Aragon. She sent it to me at my launch party because she couldn't come to my launch party from Washington, D.C. to Cedar Rapids, Iowa. How rude that she couldn't come and make that trip for my launch party. But she sent me a fruit bouquet, so it was pretty much fine. It was pretty much fine. Edible arrangements. Yeah, that's what they are. Those are amazing. They're so expensive though. But it's one of those things that I think it's so expensive for me to spend money on, but when people do it for me, I appreciate like every cent of it so much, and I'm cheap. I'm super cheap. All right, definitely closing this one off for today. Everyone likes fruit on sticks. So have a great day. Be forgiving on yourself. Know that you're enough and that you are enough. And if you're doing enough to move your business forward, be kind to yourself about that. And if you're not, figure out what you need to do to move forward. But excuses and limits are not the same thing. And understand that there's a difference between the two. And have a great day. Bye.